like I said, he's the right guy, the way we look at targeting in the future. Something I didn't know about him until I had a conversation with him at Sinead's Irish Pub one night. He's a boatsman, and he in fact lived on a 42-foot boat down at Central Command for his tour there. And then, in the wake of Hurricane Sandy, he brought it up here, and he still lives down there. And I remember being at the Pentagon about 10 years ago and going, man, it's taking me 2 hours to get home every day. I should just buy a boat and go live over there with those guys, because I saw guys that would go in there in and out. So good on you for taking the path less traveled. You hear this a lot, being promoted to senior master sergeant to such a small percentage of the enlisted corps is definitely not a recognition of all the great things you've done. It's more a recognition of your potential to lead the enlisted force and really the confidence that the Air Force has in you and your abilities. So I want to thank your family for sharing him with the Air Force and the times that he's had to be away from you doing what he does. Thank you for letting him serve, and thank you for the hand you had in building his character, because each of you touched him at some point and had an impact. Cassie, thank you, because your support of him helps him do what he does. And I realize, and all of us realize, that sacrifice always comes with death sometimes too. So thank you all for being here. I think while we're still feeling our arms and legs, we can go ahead and put some stripes on.
March 2013 by the order of Secretary of the Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Patty and Cassie, if you'd like to come forward, please.
Take a picture of that, John.
It is a time-honored tradition for the members' family to tack on the stripes. Patty and Cassie, please feel free to make a mistake.
Just take it.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hit him. Yeah!
All you, senior.
Thanks, Chief. I don't guess I need that. All right. Thank you all for being here. Colonel Flaherty, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate you doing that for me. And I'll tell you that if everything on those reports that Colonel Flaherty had access to was true, we would have been out of Afghanistan and out of Iraq about 5 or 6 years ago. They do embellish them a little bit, and that's part of it. But one of the things that is true on those reports is the leadership that I had who took the time to look out for me and write the report. So for that, I appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Flaherty, Chief Watson, Mr. Marlin, distinguished guests, my family, friends, colleagues, I really appreciate you being here today. And I have to give a special thanks to Cassie, because had she not been on me, I wouldn't have even had a promotion ceremony. I would have just come in on Friday and it would have been another day and I'd have just had another stripe on. So now that it's almost over, thanks, babe, I appreciate that. And I'm glad that we did do something formal. after she convinced me to have a ceremony, I had to decide on a place to do it. And being in the DC area, there's a lot of places that you can have any kind of ceremony, formal or otherwise. And mainly the reason that I picked this particular location, not only is it my service's memorial, and it's a great memorial, but it's really because of the surroundings that we're in the midst of. To the north, right over here on my right, Arlington Cemetery, and that houses the lives of thousands of men and women that came before us that really allowed this day to be possible. To me, it really represents the military and the sacrifice and the service that they've given to this country and for our freedom. It's one of the really key highlights. Directly below us, as you all saw already, is the Pentagon, and that's really the war-making headquarters. That's what drives this military machine. It's right down the hill. Directly across the Potomac, the Washington Monument, which you can easily see, the White House, which you can barely see if you know where to look and know what you're looking for, the Capitol, the Jefferson Memorial, recently built Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial. He's a hero of mine. And my personal favorite president sits in the Abraham Lincoln Memorial right over there. He drives a lot of what I do. He's a mentor to me, even though he doesn't know it. So for this particular ceremony, I couldn't really think of a better place to do it because of the surroundings that we have. And I'm glad the Air Force has it, and I'm glad they allowed us to have it here. And while I was thinking about some things to say, I was thinking about the chevron. Chevrons are across the military. It represents the enlisted force. We get stripes, and that's how they know who we are and kind of what we bring to the table. And as I was thinking about it, I thought about the fact that the number of stripes on an enlisted person's sleeves really correlates to the number of people that you have influence over that have influenced you. It's also a testament to the amount of folks that really deserve the credit for putting the stripes on these sleeves. And my success here today signifies thousands of successes of so many others along the way, and really a lot of the successes of the people that have worked for me and with me over the past 18 years. And the beauty really of making rank in the military is that there's a requirement for teamwork. You can't do it alone. And the further you progress in rank, the more teamwork is required, and the more your success depends on how successful those people are that you're working with, working for, and that are working for you. So, for all of my coworkers that are here today, there's a lot of you. I just want to tell you thank you for helping me get to this point. I really appreciate it. I also owe a great deal of gratitude to my many bosses that took that time to mentor me, to write my evals, to have faith in me, but most importantly is those of you that know me well, for them putting up with me, because I can be a bear to put up with and a little bit difficult. I have to get reined in often, but I've had bosses that they've been willing to do that my whole career. My best friend from prior to high school still lives in Georgia, and I think it was after the 6th or 7th year I put on staff sergeant. Not only was he surprised I was promoted, he was surprised that I wasn't court-martialed yet because of my attitude sometimes on getting it done, in my opinion. So for about 18 years now, almost, I've been wearing the uniform. I've traveled the world. The Air Force took me in as a high school educated Southern boy, and they really gave me opportunity. I've been to almost 50 countries. I've been a part of Allied Force, Operation Enduring Freedom, Iraqi Freedom, and many, many sensitive operations that really aren't even named. And the Air Force and I have had a relationship, and it's been a reciprocal relationship. And what I mean by that is every sacrifice that I've given to the Air Force, it's paid me back. It's paid me back a lot more than I actually gave in. I had nights without sleep. I beat my body up. I've been in harm's way. I've had things exploding around me. But it's also sent me to Italy, Croatia, and all other kind of really cool places around the world, and exposed me to a lot of people that are going to remain in my life forever. So for my sacrifice to the Air Force, I don't really feel it's a sacrifice because I've been given back a lot. However, if there were any regrets, and I'm not a regretful person, but if there were, it would be the sacrifice to my family. The ops tempo that I've been dealing with for the past decade has sent me a lot of places and required a lot of time, and it's forced me to be away from my family for the past almost 20 years. And I don't think that they hold it against me, and I think they don't hold it against me because they're a wonderful family. However, I would like to say today in public, in front of everyone, that I want to give you a special thank you and tell you that your endurance to me has been really important. And even though I hadn't always been the best son, the best brother, the best nephew, the best cousin, the best uncle, I do love you all very much, and I certainly couldn't have done this without your support, so thank you very much. Finally, I'd like to say that I am proud to wear this stripe, and I'm extremely proud of the current position that I'm in right now. And really the most important thing about making that stripe was it is what got me the assignment up here, because as most of you know, I was going out to Goodfellow Air Force Base to teach the targeting course, which would have been okay, but me and AETC, I just don't know that that's a good fit. But I am happy to be here at Air Staff. I'm really fortunate because in the intel career field, you can do so many things. And most people go from one job to another. It has nothing to do with the other one other than it requires a clearance, and it's got something to do with intelligence. But I've been allowed to stay in the targeting arena for a while, and I was picked for this assignment based on my stripe and based on that targeting experience. And I feel proud to be here. I'm lucky to be here. And I take the responsibility of being here quite seriously. And I want to pay it forward to all those other targeteers out there through what I went through. Hopefully make their job a little bit easier, give them better standards, give them better equipment, better training. That's what I'm going to do while I'm here. In closing, I would just say to all of you, I'm sorry that the weather didn't participate, but I really appreciate all you being out here. And we're going to go over to the bowling alley and have some cake and some pizza and some beer for those who want it. And we'll be down in Old Town tonight. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Sergeant Miller, thank you very much.
Before we close this out, I'd like to say that the weather is participating. It's not cooperating, but it's very much so. It's awesome. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Please take this opportunity to congratulate the new Senior Master Sergeant John Mcgill and join him for refreshments over at the bowling alley on Joint Base and Acosta Bowling. And have a fine Air Force Day. Thank you.